Hey, what is up guys, Control here. Today's video is going to be on Spooky Karma, a deck that I didn't really think would work too well, but we played a mill version and went 8-3 with it. Through a rocky 1-2 start, it ended up panning out super well. The deck itself is from Alan, so we're going to be checking that out and talking about it here a little bit. It's kind of wonky because you're used to seeing Maokai really just have a lot of success with, I guess, just Deep and Nautilus, because you have a lot more toss cards available to you when you play Bilgewater as well. But if you do this, you can look, we basically run all the good ones. We don't play Sap Magic. That's a Maokai card, which does end up happening to work quite often in this deck when you do have Maokai just a few tosses away from leveling. But the idea is you play the Toads, the Wanderers, the Maokais, and then a bunch of units to enable the Maokai later on. You can also rekindle the Maokai as well if you do have that as a dead champion early to get them leveled up, and that's the way you win in a lot of matchups. Ideally though, this deck has the kind of Karma endgame synergy as well, where maybe the Maokai doesn't work, or you use them in combination, where you could have Karma later on to give you infinite spells, and Maokai to kind of just remove your opponent's deck. Now this is a really good way for Karma decks to actually beat Ezreal, I found. I thought this matchup would be absolutely unwinnable, but I went 2-1 against Ezreal decks with this, which felt really good. I think my first matchup was against an Ezreal deck. It went really long, and we almost got there, but he ended up having the champion card, and our Obliterate did not hit, before he drew 2 Ezreals. But in the other 2 matchups, our Obliterate did definitely hit before he drew the Ezreals, and oh my god, dude. I thought they would be absolutely doomed, but they really weren't. Super sweet. So I would say when you're approaching this deck, really think about whether you want to play to, have the fast Obliterate go off because your opponent's like a combo deck, or if you kind of just want to survive because they're faster. Against other control decks, I mean, we're just going to eventually outscale because we have Karma later on, and we have, well, Maokai. Also, control's not really a thing, so yeah. Look to keep Ruination for sure in some matchups, like against Ashe Sejuani, for example. I had one game against Navi where, well, we had a couple Ruinations, and I don't think he was too happy about that, but I was, because we got the dub. I was pretty surprised about it, but it did end up working, and this deck honestly just kind of came together in a fashion that I was pretty happy about, because I really didn't think it was going to. But, you got all your big removal cards, you get Rekindlers to bring your champions back, which is basically the reason you play Shadow Isles with this. I mean, in addition to the removal, obviously. But they work together quite well. I would say cards that kind of underperformed were like River Shaper for sure. This card I felt like wasn't really that great and got removed by a lot of stuff right now. So I would say if you're looking to cut something, River Shaper is definitely one that can go bye-bye. But, the draw is really nice. I think it's a decent card for that. Basically never got 2 strikes off with them, I think, ever. But still a decent card just to, give you your Ruination or the Vengeance that you need, for example. And I would say that the early game is pretty good as well. 30 Toad Wanderer, very good for keeping you alive. That's one thing this deck does do relatively well, is keep you alive. With, the saplings to protect you and, kill smaller, high-prio targets from your opponents. And the absolute plethora of cards that do heal you. You got Wanderer, Toad, Feast, Grasp, Whale, and, I mean, more removal / chump blockers to kind of just keep you up. So I would say this deck is very good at staying alive, and one that is deceptively strong right now. So I'd definitely say give it a spin. Look to hold units for post-Maokai, though. You want to have Maokai on turn 4 most of the time, and you maybe just don't want to jam your Aristocrat on turn 1 unless you need to in a very fast matchup. And slower ones, you'd like to be playing, units every round to get these saplings out to get Maokai leveled up and be able to go ahead and have the Obliterate just work, because that's one of the key ways you're going to be winning. And as you guys will see in the video, that's one of the ways that we ended up winning quite often with it. So I'd say this deck is really sweet. Definitely recommend checking it out. Again, nothing is really super core as far as the cards go. I think the removal is pretty core. And I mean, as far as like Karma spooky decks go, you don't really need Maokai, but it was one that ended up working quite well in this list, and I would say that it is recommended to run, for me at least. I'd say you should do it. You could also run Thresh, and that'd be fine as well. But Maokai was a good spin on that, and I like the Obliterate. It was just really fun to play a mill version. And, well, it was a nice way to switch it up. I mean, I haven't seen this deck on ladder before, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So I definitely recommend you guys giving it a spin if you're interested. Cards that you can change, though, I think the River Shapers could be basically anything you want. I would recommend units just because this deck is already spell heavy. And, well, you do like to have your Maokai leveled up. I think the Obliterate is very important. So, just keep that in mind, right? Maybe look for some other units that can do some stuff in a similar fashion, River Shaper. That being said, the card draw is quite good. I think that especially the Spell Tutor is really strong because, well, Ruination is one of your best cards and one of the ways you win a lot of matchups. Just want to mention before I end and go to gameplay here, I may actually just start going live at 9 a.m. so I don't miss the card reveal every morning. Not for like a super long stream, but just to discuss cards and then post the YouTube videos up and then go back to my regular streams at 6 p.m. Let me know if you'd be interested, if you'd be down to watch 9 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/control, where I go live talk about the cards. Might do that tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. that's about it. I will have a video tomorrow talking about the cards that were released today, and I'll probably just keep on doing that in a daily kind of fashion and release a couple of gameplay videos a week where there's a few decks that I think are really sweet, like this one. Jam those out, but yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, guys, and I hope you guys are as excited for Targon Man as I am. Have a great day. Enjoy the video, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Rematch. Canada versus Australia. We'll win, gentlemen. Vengeance is kind of good. I don't think I want to keep it, though. Same with Whale. Just like they're decent, but they don't do enough. Deny is good for the one Reckoning he runs. I feel like Runation is just like a lot better than Vengeance because we're usually going to have a lot of big threats. I mean, the opener was like kind of fine. Keeping cards the early game to do things is important, I think, but maybe it was better to look a little bit harder for that because it is just such a relevant card. Tough to say now. The big one. I like holding the Thorny Toad, so when I attack on 5, I have a unit to play for sure. Value. Look at that. The value. Insane.
The blessed isles live through me.
You can play the Culling if you want. Fine. Kind of bad, honestly. If I did it next round, I could have played around it, but I think it's okay that that happened. Definitely not the end of the world or anything. Oh, why do I have to draw this now?
Water changes, but never breaks.
The War Mother will unite us all.
I don't know if I play the Toad as well. I don't get a strike if he doesn't do damage. So if he freezes the River Shaper, I don't actually get a draw here. I think I still hold though.
Bow to no one.
I even slap it here. It's not even really good, honestly. Like, it's a pretty low value one, but I kind of have to do it.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
No removal for that. Kind of good.
Victory requires a sharp blade.
I'm gonna draw 2 usually with Assessor. I think if he's gonna play the Glory Seeker here. Would be Vile Feast it. Force an Elixir. Okay.
Pain is nothing.
Rip it. It's not very good though. Very liberal use of the card. I also don't have a unit to make the Rekindler work next round, which is kind of bad. Rekindling my Rekindler is gonna go down. Pass. Problem is like calling and I don't have mana, so I almost just want to pass back here. You can take 5 damage if you want, so I really don't care. Don't have to worry about the Assessor card as well. He's not gonna be happy with that. I still lose this game most of the time, by the way. Pretty tough rip to win, but we can get there. Sometimes we can get there.
All the world on one arrow.
You gotta believe me. Join the conflagration. Time.
Poggers in the chat.
Protect our grove.
Milling is going on, gentlemen. It's happening. It's happening. We're milling him. Oh my god. We're gonna be close. It's gonna be so close. I'm gonna freeze my cards though. Uh-oh. Would I rather Vengeance this card, or would I rather Deny? I guess he get Fury and buff one of his other cards, right? I mean, even if I Vengeance, he can still Fury anyways, right? So I should use it. I mean, I want the Ash Dead as the thing though. But Deny really hits nothing but that. Maybe because I save Selena and this card's just more flexible, it's better to use this here. It also just plays around dumb shit, right? And the dumb shit's kind of what I'm scared of, I think, here. Oh, boys, I don't know what to say. Making light work of the Australian Wonder Naviute, though. As per usual, I mean. He can't beat me in Among Us. He can't beat me in Legends of Runeterra. You know, I play fun decks and I still clap his cheeks. I don't know what to tell you guys. Canada is just greater than Australia. That's just plain and simple, boys. Like, we queue into Ezreal Karma. I mean, this one, right off the get-go, is probably a loss. I'm still going to play it out, but I don't think I really have very much room at all to win this game. Like, I have to hard mulligan for Maokai and have, like, a very fast mill hand, basically. It has to be the line that I win with. Otherwise, I mean, it's literally unwinnable because, you know, he has Karma as well. By the time I get my Karma off, he has his off. And when he has his off, his Ezreal's online. His Ezreal does a lot of stuff that we don't like. Swain at least control still has a good top end. Yeah, for sure. Might choose a win in the tournament, maybe. Could.
The spirit gives to those who
We're playing deep today. Sorry for missing that message bus. Not really, no. Not deep. Mill. 1/2 of deep for sure, though. Definitely the 1/2. Okay, well, that's one card required for winning, so that's nice that we have that. Surrey Keck W. That's, wow. With the caps and the spaces. Crazy. Surrey Keck W. You're not wrong.
It is time.
I have an update. I 100% thought I was going to get curved. I was talking to a girl. And I think she's from Vancouver. And we were hitting it off. Honestly, everything was good. And then I mentioned that I was from Surrey. She asked me where I was from. And I said Guildford. And it's getting some suspect vibes. I thought she was actually just going to like literally ghost me based on that. Has not yet though. So I think we're still okay. Supposed to have a date on Wednesday, I think. So, you know, we'll see how that goes.
Corruption everywhere.
But speaking of Surrey, I almost got curved from being from here. Which is fair. You know, if you're from Vancouver, you probably don't want to be hanging with people from Surrey. Don't have the best reputation. He opens and pushes 4.
Time for a true
Why does he play an Ezreal? Guess I just play River Shaper first, because then I can block with my 2-1 and then just grasp during combat. If he has a deny, maybe.
Water changes but never breaks.
I seen the veteran mill list. No, I have not. Control, you were watching my Ash Juwani video and you still struggled in normal, which tells me 2 things. You're pretty bad and that Endure is life for you. It's kind of similar to Endure, but like, I mean, the way that you play for the most part, I think is fairly similar between the 2 decks. They do have a fair amount of overlapping cards. I would say that differences are that obviously, I mean, with Endure, your end game is very straightforward. You either burn them out with kind of like the Drain card, the Neverglade Collector, which still hasn't been nerfed for some reason, or like They Who Endure plus Atrocity, right? A little bit different with the Ash deck. I mean, the way that you win is just like through having a bigger board than your opponent, which happens a lot because the deck is imbalanced. Or you can also go ahead and just...
No way.
Can I speak English here? Let's see. What is the word and the thing that I wanted to say? Or Ash. Yeah, Ash is another big one. But that's a deck that you win through more straight tempo than like, you know, 1 or 2 cards later on. I say it's like pretty easy most of the time, but there is like some stuff that's not that intuitive if you're like newer to the game. Like, you know, the way that you hold the freeze effects, or like when you want to, you know, develop an Iceveil Archer versus when you don't. So, I mean, don't feel bad if you're not getting it or anything, because I mean, it's not like as straightforward as you think it is. Or as I make it out to be.
What's that noise?
Is this true? You live in Vancouver and you wouldn't date a girl from Surrey. True. Yes. I can definitely believe that. It's kind of a good deny. One of the better ones, I think, that I can have. Definitely happy with it. Thank you, Tiger. I'll try my best. I'm not too worried, though. Should be fun. So we can challenge the Chump, I guess, and attack with the other cards.
Go.
Sure. Like 0 chance he attacks a tree over the River Shapers, so
The lesson begins.
yeah.
Oh, that's a harvest right there.
You gonna play both of them for a Dragonling? Really? Okay, I mean, sure.
Clear your head.
Ah, I am a 3-head gamer. This guy's a 5-head gamer. I did not even play around that possibility. I'm not gonna lie, I did not even think about it.
Will the waters take?
And I have to draw a Shroom.
The waters are...
This guy is actually playing out of his mind right now. My head is tiny, his head is massive. It's a brain gap, boys. That's all it is here.
Breathe in, breathe out.
And I draw another Shroom.
Not all mean well.
Please, I have connections.
I mean, do I take my highest value whale here? I feel like if I want to win, and we still have to look for Maokai, which means I have to rekindle into rekindle, so I can't. I'll have 8 mana to remove my rekindler with them. I think I'm actually just doomed, though, if I don't do that. Like, I'm literally at 8 out of 25. He's getting scaled, so I think that I actually have to just, like, go for the bad blocks and go from there. Maybe even kill the eye here, but I don't know. Feels wrong. Because then he plays Thermal on the tree, and then I lose this tree anyways, but it's like... I think from this point, I have to play with, like, a very... So, what's the way that I would describe this? A very positive mindset. We'll go with that. Yeah, I have to be very optimistic as far as what's going to happen.
We burn, then kindle anew.
I now have 2 trees. Do you know what's better than 1 tree? 2 of them, yeah. Don't block and I win. Obviously, dude. Obviously. Oh no, concussive palm. What am I gonna do? I mean, I have 1 challenge unit. It's definitely on the Eye of the Dragon as well. I want my little guys to die, so then I get more value with the blocks. Should we see that? That should be fine. MF wins the highest win rate list. I mean, it should be like that through all ranks because the deck is really easy to play, right? I don't think it's the best deck or by any means at all, but I mean, it should be a very high win rate deck because there's a very low margin of error for you to mess it up. It's one of the reasons why, like, the aggregated stats really aren't the best, and you have to have, like, a pretty large margin of error on them. Especially when you look at, like, the ones that are collected for Runeterra, there's really not that big of a sample size. If you go to, like, Mobalytics and you look at, like, the games played, it's just, like, you can't really take anything out of like, 10,000 games, I feel like. You know, they're not tracked by, like, X rank or anything like that, I believe. I don't know if it has to have, like, a threshold, like, Platinum Plus or anything to have the games tracked. If that's the case, then, I mean, there's a little bit more validity to the stats, I think, but in the current case, I mean, I don't think it's really too relevant for the most parts. This is a double Steel Tempest gamer. This guy is absolutely playing out of his mind right now. Not 1 Steel Tempest, but 2.
What is gained when you
That is
return
insane.
malevolence?
I thought you'd never ask.
I have 11 mana overall available. If I play the Aristocrat, I actually don't get to do everything that I want to do. I play the Toad. I mean, I get the tosses off at least. I probably just play Toad and Vengeance, I guess. Can deny though, it's just kind of annoying, but I mean, it's just part of the game, right? Double Maokai's nutty.
If you could back it up.
I want more of my cards to die, so that's why I'm blocking with this. It also heals me when it does die as well. Kind of a pretty big added benefit, actually. It's almost like healing equals good and not healing equals bad. They're using a spell cheat sheet for all regions, so you know what they might have now. Yep, that's a pretty good pro tip on... When I did coaching, that was like one of the big things that I would get people to do, is have a spell cheat sheet up. Very, very useful. It's one of the things that is actually super, super broken in this game. Is actually having information on what any possible spell your opponent can play is. Because then, I mean, if you have a lot of extra time in your turn, which you usually do in Runeterra, you can kind of just like literally play around everything they possibly could have in some situations. When you really want to get sweaty and try hard. The only thing that really tilts in card games is odds. Well, I tilt on evens too. I mean, I don't just tilt when I'm on odds. Okay. That's going face. Okay, sure. I am confused. So does he have another one then to level it up? Or like what's the... I mean, he's only played... No, he's played 3 Static Shocks. I am actually very confused now. As to why he would do that. But okay. Maybe it's one of those like the less you know you better, the less I know the better type of situations. Could be exactly like that actually, yeah. I can... No, I only get 6. 6 is not enough. I was gonna say Runation into Miscall is actually usually a leveled up Maokai. But I'm too off still.
Would panicking help?
I could... Well, no, actually it would be, right? Because this dies, I go to 18 out of 25. But I guess you could have a deny for the Miscall, and then that fucks my whole play up. So that's why it's not really not that great. It's kind of a look though, right? Because like I would get the tree leveled up. Because I'm at 18, and then I toss 5. And I get 2 more from this. So it would be exactly a level up. And then I can play Miscall. And then I get back a Rekindler or Maokai 4 to 5 times. But you have to weigh that against the odds of him having deny top 20, which is pretty high, I think. So the play's probably not that good.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Karma level's a thing. Maybe like I open attack with everything first and then see what he does.
I learned patience.
I could play Karma on like Whale too, right? The Karma Whale is kind of a juicy line as well. It doesn't get me to the Maokai, which is kind of how I need to win, I think, though. That's the only issue with it. I feel like it's kind of wrong, honestly, but I think I'm still going to do it. It means that this is sort of a dead card now, and I don't know if that's really what we want to have happen here. (22 out of 25). I could actually just Vile Feast my Toad, and that's enough, right? He's flipped. Really smart that he's wrong now. If he doesn't have the champions, he needs them. Super good use of the mana right now. Really smart. Thermogenic Beam for all of his mana. If I whale twice, then I clear the board basically. Which is fine. Because he has no mana, I can just let him do this, play Miscall, and then just feast my unit after, right? Because then we get Karma back. So I heal for a 4, and I get the trees online, so he has 4 cards left in deck. Ezreal's almost online. My whale will heal for 6. I'm down a lot of cards, and most of the cards he has are spells. I mean, as far as like an Ezreal matchup goes, I think this is about as good as it's going to get for us. Really, like as far as these go, this is like actually probably a relatively ideal pan out. Obviously, like a few turns earlier, it would have been nice to have the tree online. But like considering he's played 3 Static Shocks, I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. Like I really don't think I can complain about this outcome and how this game's going right now. Because this should just be such a low percentage game that like we realistically just like cannot assume we're gonna win. And I mean, you know, maybe at this point he just doesn't have an Ezreal. And if that's the case, because I think we've cleared 2 already actually, he would only have 1 left in the deck, and I mean it's actually not even that likely that he would have 1. So I think that because of that we're kind of just okay here, we're happy. I mean I don't really have to let him get the Dragon Links to go off, right? I can just pass. Kill my 1/1. Yeah, they could have been good. Sure. I would technically gain a 2/1. Tossing here is still actually not bad for us because we do get actually the whatchamacallit cards. We get closer to Karma, so then we can start the infinite shuffle. The tossing's really not bad. Play whale, go to full health. Could also just block with the trees, I guess, first. But then he could maybe clear the trees, so that's not the best. Block with 1-1 and 4-4 maybe?
Such naivete.
I feel like the whale is still kind of fine though, honestly. Like, I don't really have a problem with doing this here. It just seems like it's okay. I'm gonna have Ezreal in hands. I mean, I'm still healing for 6, right? I don't think that's gonna change anything for the most part. Wait, why is he... What? I guess to deny healing? Okay. I mean... On the open, do I win? He blocks 5-4, I do 8. No, I don't win on open. I guess I would just pass. I think I should actually play Dead Bloom though.
I got ways to find me
So shrooms are a thing. I should wait for him to play the puff caps and then play the Dead Bloom Wonder, I think.
Pay debt.
Clear your head. Let your instincts speak.
Because then I toss him off of cards that are in the deck that aren't champions.
Protect our grove.
That was a lot of puff caps that he's got out of the deck. Holy dude. Actually insane.
Life starts,
So strong there.
and so life springs anew.
Beast, okay.
Light flickers.
Do I even need to attack? Is it even beneficial for us to do anything here? I don't know. It almost feels like I just want to block. I don't have to do anything here, I don't think. Like, in this situation, he has to speed the game up, right? The game being slow is good for us, because, I mean, I could just wait until I get the Karma, which I still have 2 of, play the Karma card, and get a bunch of spells. Yeah, beautiful. So, I don't know. From my perspective, it feels like doing anything just seems kind of wrong, to be honest, because I think that the fact that there's a massive clock here, like, I just do this, and then I basically just win the game, right?
Life springs anew.
And then he just decks out, then we win. Maybe card draw cards, Mystic Shot, and a... Sure. That's okay. I'm not dead and he's going to deck out, so like I need to see something that's going to make me want to actually do anything here. Otherwise, he's pass and win. GG. Oh, dude, that's so nutty, man. He didn't get a Karma, and his Ezreal got the last one at least. Got obliterated.
Life triumphs.
So I don't really know about that one. Like, I feel like for him, he threw the game by playing Ezreal's early. I don't think there's any reason to play that card before it's leveled up in this matchup. Another Ezreal Karma matchup. Different guy, though. There's absolutely zero case that I win this matchup twice in a row, right? That never happens. It should never happen, at least. I have a really good hand for it, though. I mean, I don't have any of my toss cards, but, like, the way that we won last game is just basically having 2 trees up and just getting the mill online. So if that can happen again, I mean... Maybe... Just maybe it's a winnable one. Gotcha with the ogle, my friend.
I fight with my spirit, not my fists.
An early Karma too. We did not have that until very late last game. Not that we even want to play early, because we really don't actually.
The dark beckons.
I don't really want to play this before I play the tree, because I don't have a unit to play after the tree, so maybe just waiting here is okay. That's a good unit though, for sure.
Prepared.
I will tend this garden.
Thermo's like the only really clean card to clear this. Sure, and then I can play Miscall. I don't really need the lifesteal right now. So So I feel like I just play the Shaver for the draw. Because he doesn't clear it on board. Fair.
The spirit gives to those who listen.
You're in over your head.
Double Eye of the Dragon. Okay. This guy's not messing around. That's okay. We take a draw.
The dragon binds us.
Okay, that's fine. There's a lot of Dragon Links for next round.
Shadow.
Not the biggest fan. Should also be an open attack from him, which is kind of annoying.
Turn malevolence.
Okay, though. I don't want to play whale. Definitely not good enough.
Be gone, thief.
They don't play Get Excited, so I don't think the 3 versus 4 really matters. I also don't really know how much I care about these at the same time, though. I feel like that should be okay. I don't think I really get punished too much for it.
Protect our grove.
Static Shock's really good here, I think. It puts the Ezreal, or sorry, the Maokai in line for... That kind of sucks. Pretty bad for us, not gonna lie. I think with only 1 tree and only being 11 deep, it's gonna be really difficult to win now. But I mean, doesn't mean it's like always a loss. It just means that it's gonna be a hard win to get, I think. Sure. I can't thermo the tree now. Important to take note of that.
We each died, then found hope.
Play the tree. Like, I don't want to have to play him because I'd rather just be able to have him come online when I can get the ability off, but I'm never going to be able to toss enough unless he sticks for multiple turns. And that's like kind of the whole problem of the situation we're in right now.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
Okay, barrier if you're in Ezreal, sure.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I don't miss.
Join the conflagration.
Got you guys with the water. Got just my heal man card, okay? Sure.
No way.
I mean, I could pass here to play around Thermo, but I don't think I can. I think I do just need to have like 16 out of 25.
Water changes but never breaks.
I'd love to say that I can do stuff, but I don't feel like I can. I feel like my options are kind of forced. Second tree though, that's really good. Cost 3, that's actually insane. Cost 6 after Karma. Which I think I do play here as well. I just need to speed the pace of the game up, honestly. Like, I just can't play as slowly as I'd like to. Because now, if I get the Maokai stab magic off, I just win next round. Sure.
Sweep them away. You cannot win. A gift from the river folk.
That's massive. Holy dude.
We'll bring peace to Ionia.
That is
whatever
fine, I
the
think.
cost.
Like, just imagine he doesn't have another Ezreal in hand here.
The answer lies within.
Okay.
My spirit is an unquenchable fire.
I wish I had first action because it's a burst spell. That's tragic, man. Actually so sad that he got that off. That's probably like the difference between me winning and losing there, but I mean, can't do too much about that, right?
You cannot tell the wind to change direction.
Definitely sucks, but it's just sometimes what happens.
I tire of waiting.
I mean, just flip him then. It's fine. Like 1 HP, but I mean, I just need the effect to go off. I don't really need anything else from him, so good. There's 4 cards in deck now. All of his draw is effectively unplayable. I can play Inside of Ages, maybe just look for something. Maybe like a recall. Then his Ezreal doesn't get leveled.
Many past lives in a single soul.
Glimpse, Spirit's Refuge, Sapling Toss.
I have learned patience.
I could deny as well. I don't really want to though. I don't feel like this needs to be up anymore, so I think it's just okay to say okay here. Let's let this go through. Do play League? Yep. Definitely do play League. Mana for Vengeance if he plays an Ezreal. He does have Deny still, and so, I mean, it's not like it's going to be really that great. Very likely he has it too, because he's drawn 6 spells with the Meditation, so I can't do too much about the Ezreals. They're kind of just going to exist, I think.
Grasping claws.
Such naivete.
For the whales. Is Glimpse bad there? I don't think I really need to play it. Like, I'm gonna overdraw a lot, right? So, I don't know if I really want to do that.
See you
2 saplings for fun. So I have like 3 saplings. They can, they clear his karma with them. Kinda good. Armor spells are just nuts, man. So good. Okay. Control with an A. The primary one that I would play on. It's like hard stack Diamond 4.
to spread their leaves.
Boom at 7. Deny does not work anymore. I have Feast for healing. That's about it. See what spell he plays, I guess. Okay.
Skill and grace to tear your breath away.
I want to play mine later, not earlier, because if he gets to take actions on the stack, it's worse for us, I think, overall. There's 2 mana left. I mean, I can just, like... I guess Ezreal won't die until combat gets resolved, right? Unless I Vengeance. I guess there's Vengeance in the Ezreal first, and then I play it. Yeah, I mean... It's basically just game, right? Like, I had way too many options there, but I think the end result was going to be Vengeance the Ezreal and play Vile Feast on the Karma.
Be so.
And we should just be fine. I cannot believe that I am 2-0 against Ezreal Karma. Absolutely ridiculous.